What's going on, everybody? It's Jay, aka It's Ghost Story, and today's video, I've been trying to think how I'm gonna record it for the longest time, and I was trying to approach it in a lens. It's like, oh man, how do I make this video without sounding as corny as possible? And then I realized further in my head, as I was like generating what this video would be like, I realized it's an inevitability that it's going to sound a little bit corny. I'm not sure how this video is going to formulate itself for the most part. I'm borderline triple uploading. There's probably going to be 3 videos in the span of the next 24 hours. I'm throwing this one in the middle. So for the people that are like, I subscribe for Phantom Parade, I don't care about your blabbering YouTuber. Get back to playing the gacha game. This video is not for you, sadly. However, there is a previous video that I uploaded beforehand. That video was uploaded today as well. You can watch that if you're into more JJK stuff. And when the Shoko Yaga banner drops, I will also be making a video on that, borderline as soon as they release. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for all of that. But this video is not about that whatsoever. This is more of a personal video. This is probably going to be one of the only personal videos I will ever make on the channel. After this video, I'm turning completely back into a JJK Phantom Parade robot. No human nature, no brain cells operating outside of just the game. I tend to try and add a little bit of my personality to my videos, but I'm not really trying to make me the center focus of said videos. I like the game to speak for itself, and I am just an additive in the corner, is the best way I could say. But if you're into these type of videos where you like to hear me talk for a very long time, just put me in the background, place your phone in your pocket, down, boot up a game, boot up whatever you'd like, start drawing, do whatever hobbies you have. I'm going to be speaking for a little bit, okay? The first things first, thank you for over 1,000 subscribers. That actually came out weird. I recently just woke up. Thank you for over 1,000 subscribers. We've hit my goal at such a speed that was so unexpected that I still can't wrap my head around it whatsoever. Now, obviously, I mean, if you guys even looked at my channel, my views and my growth are starting to hit a plateau, and I'm fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. I was actually expecting it to hit a plateau even earlier than that. And I kind of just want to discuss, not even really discuss, but I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Let me talk to you, about the content creation journey, kind of what inspired it, who inspired it, what does the future for this channel really look like? If there is going to be a future, what are my plans? A whole bunch of jibber jabber, right? So if you care to indulge with me, please have a seat. Do whatever you please in the background. Let's have this discussion together. So I'm gonna be honest. When I first started this channel, I think it was pretty funny because I was talking to the co-owner of my Discord server, who y'all know as Phaeton. He's not very active in the server, but he does make an appearance every once in a while. And I will say this, he actually said something very insightful that I personally didn't even realize myself. So he did say to me, he's like, it is an amazing thing that you started making content around first global anniversary, because that's like the best time you could have started to really pumping out content. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I didn't even that wasn't planned. Okay, in fact, the reason why I started making content is because I was already planning to. Originally, this channel wasn't going to be about Phantom Parade. Well, kinda not. So this channel kind of had like 2 idea periods. The first idea period was like, okay, I'm gonna make a Phantom Parade channel. Then I'm like, wait a minute, making a gacha channel sounds like a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and a lot of time that I don't have. Then I went through another phase where I'm like, okay, instead, I'm going to make video game documentary style videos. Like the type of videos you see on YouTube that are like 4 hours long talking about insert game, about some monotone YouTuber speaking across the script for like, yeah, one of like some of those. And I still like those types of content, but I also don't want to be a part of a specific mold. So as I was making, I was recording those videos, I actually had one, it was going to be covering The Incredible Hulk. It was going to be covering the movie games, it was going to be covering the films, and I was going to be discussing like my anticipation for a future Hulk related game, because I'm also, I want to say a big general Marvel fan, but I'm a very huge Spider-Man and The Incredible Hulk fan. So I originally made content not on this channel. I made content on a channel previously. I'm not going to say the name of it because that's the past. But I will say I used to make videos on Yu Yu Hakusho. I used to make videos on Spider-Man. I used to make videos on other passions that I was into. Now I'm making videos on Phantom Parade, which I only started to because, again, the co-owner Phaeton, I remember one time he was stuck on floor 61, and I was like, you know, if you can show me the units you have, I can screen record a video and like post it on an unlisted link on YouTube, send it to you, and you could like try and copy what I do. And then I did that in like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh wow, that's like really simple and really easy. Why not just do this for like a larger audience? So that kind of inspired me to like finally get up and do something. But there was also like a lot of other friends that saw my old content and they were like, dude, why did you ever stop? Like, what was the point of stopping? Like, I actually had some form of momentum building up. The first video on my original channel had around like 25,000 plus views, and like I'm not really used to, but I have seen like my videos, I guess you could say in quotation marks, pop off. Like I have had like videos with 25 to 30,000 views. But the problem is that back then when I made those videos, it overwhelmed me a ton. It's kind of a weird, it's a personal thing, right? Like I'm not used to having so many eyes on me. I would say I'm a very isolationist type guy. I'm very nomadic. I don't really like being in large crowds or large groups, and having like over 30,000 people look at a video and like having hundreds of people comment on said video, it makes it difficult. You know, it's very difficult to absorb all at once. So I wanted to make a Phantom Parade channel because I'm like, okay, there's not really that many content creators that cover Phantom Parade, and even like the small ones that are trying to, like, you know, basically be up and coming for the game, or no offense, but are in like a stagnant phase for the most part. And that's because the game isn't exactly too popular, despite the fact JJK being one of the most popular manga anime currently on the globe. So I'm like, you know what? I want to start really, really slow. Like, I want to start from the ground up. And I was telling this to a friend. I'm not sure if he's watching this video, but he has commented across a lot of posts, especially the posts where I was talking about my channel growth. His name is King Theodore, 40,000 plus subscribers, friend of mine for years. I remember when he had around 100 or under 100, and then he started growing. We went through like a rough patch like during his channel growth, but we amended that in the future like men. And he's always been supporting me through the sidelines. And Theo, if you are watching this, I only didn't respond to your comments because I didn't want people to hit me with the industry plant allegations, because I really wanted to try to grow this thing on my own. You know, I really did respect, you know, Theo being one of the early people to like and comment on my videos, and my other friends, you know, like for example, Phaeton, the co-owner of the server, like and comment on my videos, kind of giving me that initial push, you know. But that initial push only matters so much if I commit to the bit. And it kind of all started with the Yuji and Toto anniversary summon video. When that video popped off, I got nervous. I'm gonna be honest, I got cold feet. As soon as that video got like 1,000 views, like the same anxiety that I got from like the original channel where my video popped off, got 25,000, 30,000 views, I got cold feet. again. And I'm going to be so honest with y'all. When that video started getting traction, I was going to quit. But again, the co-owner of the server, Phaeton, and Theo, they were like, nah, man, just keep it going. Like, what are you doing? Like, put the foot on the gas and don't stop. Just keep going. And I realized that in my very grown age, I spent too much of my life doubting myself and not pushing forward the moment I see a wall of adversity that comes from my mental. So I feel like for one of the first times, I decided to tackle an anxiety that I've had that not only corresponds to online activity, but also corresponds to my day-to-day life, and face it head on by punching it in the face. So then I started daily uploading, like non-stop uploading. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, there was a lot of times where I wanted to quit, or like I got some negative comments and I'm like, dude, what is the point of this? Like, I don't have to take any of this. And sometimes things would get to my mental, but I've recently learned that through those mental down periods I would have, I would just kind of hit it with like the we ball and then just keep pushing, like just keep pushing. And sometimes if the comments were a little too crazy, I just simply wouldn't look at them. It's as easy as that. Like sometimes if I feel like a video is gonna flop, or if I feel like a video is gonna get some negativity attached to it, I just simply won't look at the comments, or I simply won't look at the video, or I'll simply upload videos to override that video so I don't have to see it the moment I open YouTube Studio on my phone. Like, trust me, there is a lot of counter methods so I don't have to see the BS, you know? But I do tend to like tackle everything head on, because that's the goal. I feel like I've been sitting very complacent in my life. That's why 1,000 subscribers wasn't a goal based on wanting to be a YouTuber. If you've been a subscriber for long enough that you saw my first ever Jujutsu Ramble video, which was a commentary video of me using Green Toto on the Maharaga limited tower floor of that month. I already said when I made the videos, and I was like, I don't care to be a YouTuber. That was never the main goal of the channel. The main goal of the channel and 1,000 subscribers was to show that I could persevere, that I can do something if I really put my mind to it. Like I'm not, like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, where you know, you feel like you work really hard in life, but there are a lot of people that will sit by and just call you lazy. And listen, y'all know me, man. I feel like I put in a lot of effort. I tell some of y'all like, oh, can you make a video doing this? Can you make a video doing that? And I'm like, I need time to do it as a guy who works 2 jobs. As a man who works 2 jobs, I don't have a lot of free time. So I'll record a bunch. And I also have like a social life outside of making videos. And sometimes I sacrifice elements of that social life to make content. And it's not because I'm 100% gambling on content being like, oh, like I can't wait to be a big YouTuber, hit that Mr. Beast money. No, that's not the goal. I just want to prove to myself that like, if I'm in the lab and I can sit here for hours and hours and hours, and there's no guaranteed return on anything that I'm doing, then I can apply this mindset, I can apply this philosophy, I can apply this grind set to anything that I've ever given up on. Because I have tried to do so many things throughout the years, and I feel like I failed in a lot of regards personally, but it's not due to ineptitude or not due to, how do I say this? Like failure per se. It's because I just don't persevere through failure. And I realize as like the channel is now hitting this plateau in terms of viewership, subscribers, watch hours. At first, you know, you would think like, okay, you see viewership drop off, you would like waver. You're like, why am I doing this? But I'm seeing viewership drop off and I'm thinking, oh, I just have to go harder. And not in the sense of like, I need to get more viewers, but it's like, I need to interact with this audience that I already accumulated and I appreciate so much. There is a lot of y'all that I speak to on an almost day-to-day basis. We joke around, we talk about the game, we talk about whatever. Or there's some of y'all that use my server or my YouTube channel as a medium to just speak to each other. And that's really cool because I do love Phantom Parade as a game, despite the fact that I be slam dunking on the game on borderline a daily basis at this point, which I really wouldn't want to because I do love the game, but I'm also not a shill. You know, Sumzap and Billy do not put no money in my bank account whatsoever. All the money that I put in the game is my own, that I worked, not even on my free time, but on my work hours that I work every single week. So if the game's bad, I'm gonna say game bad. You feel me? So when it comes down to it, like, it's really a mindset thing. That's all it is. I just wanted to have the mindset. And this is where it gets into like really weird territory, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, we hit 1K, but we hit 1K way earlier than what I would think. Because again, I would say I want to hit 1K before 2027. And then it just kept going and kept going and kept going. And we went higher and higher and higher. And we were celebrating like new sub goals every other day. And I'm like, this is wild. Absolutely wild. And it initially still kept getting like overwhelming. Like it still kind of blows my mind that it happened so quickly. That's why making this video is so difficult. And in fact, as I'm making this video, we're not even like, we're on the verge of 1,100 subscribers already, which is like, okay, wow, you know? And it leaves me sort of speechless, but there's also a lot of things that come with 1K, because a lot of people associate, 1K with like basically being official YouTuber status. And I'm gonna say this, 1K is very important to me on a personal level, but I still don't view myself as a YouTuber. I just view myself as a guy who plays Phantom Parade, and I happen to make videos on it. And that's why this video is so hard to make, because usually when somebody hits like 1K or a big subscriber milestone, they do like this big old giveaway, they give money, or they give whatever, right? And here's the thing, I may blow a lot of money on Phantom Parade, but some of y'all got things twisted, man. I'm not rich. Yo, some of y'all got it twisted. Like, y'all make it seem like I just got bands to throw around. Y'all got the game twisted, 100%. Like, some of y'all be asking for like some of the most absurd summon videos ever. And I'm like, on my soul, if I had the revenue to do it, I would. But there is a level of financial irresponsibility that's like a hard stop. It's a hard stop, okay? Like, maybe if this channel grows and YouTube starts paying me, which I'm not getting paid by YouTube. I don't make no money off of this, man. The revenue that we see here is from me. That's it. And like, spending money on the channel is kind of like investing in it to a certain extent. But I don't got money to be throwing willy-nilly to A5 every unit. There's already other creators that do that, and respect to them for them having the revenue to see through that. I have no issues saying that I cannot perform that whatsoever. There's no shame in my game to be able to say, yeah, guys, I can't A5 every unit. I don't got the money to do all of that, Maybe if in the future, again, if YouTube starts paying me and like the money like is able to assist the current revenue that I gain from my jobs, then maybe we could do some more stupid summon videos or more random summon videos, or maybe do follow-up summon videos or get units to A5. But as it currently stands, I'm just doing what I can to make a video in each banner, right? So I'm not big money balling, I just make enough to survive. I make enough to make videos. I make enough to go day by day as a man. That's it. And if I were to ever do a giveaway, it wouldn't be on YouTube. I'm just gonna be straight up, because I see what happens for other small creators, and I'm gonna still consider myself a small creator. Like 1K is still a small number, but it's a very important number to me. Like everybody that has subscribed, I've recognized a lot of y'all from the beginning, but it's still small, right? We're still a very controlled group to a certain extent, small for internet standards. Okay. You know, we still niche. We're still niche. You can consider yourselves like, oh man, I invested in this early. I invested in this channel back in the day. Y'all past 1K, y'all ain't real OGs. You know what I'm saying? But if I were, it would not be on YouTube, because I don't want to make a giveaway video, like big title, like giveaway for my subscribers, and then I have like a ton of people that weren't subscribed to channel initially, or people that like watch the videos without subscribing, and then all of a sudden they see a giveaway and they want to subscribe, they want to comment. You know, I don't want to have, in quotation marks, fake supporters. I'm not going to call y'all fans, because fans is corny. Y'all shouldn't be fans of men, women, they, them, the whole 9 yard, whatever, playing video games on the internet that is basically glorified slot machines. You shouldn't be fans. You can support me. That's cool. We could be friends even. I'm not going to call y'all fans. It's kind of disrespectful, you know? Y'all elevate yourselves a little bit more. Hold yourselves on a pedestal. You're not below me. You're right beside me. Okay. But if I were, it would be in my Discord server. And, you know, the Discord server is growing. I'm not going to lie, hitting over 100 members, pretty insane. But if I were, it would be in my Discord server. And I would also be more prone to do like personal, like giveaway. I don't even know how I would say it, but I would like to give back to the people that I know specifically supported me. You know, like I wouldn't want to do something at random when I know, like, for example, Noop has supported me for so long, Modus has supported me for so long, like Omega or P Mega supported me for so long, Perfection was there at the beginning, Dio was there in the beginning. You know, a lot of these people that I can just name drop off the top of my head that kind of help set the foundation for basically everything. I would prefer to give back to them first, the people that started everything, than just be like, okay, like let's just do a random roulette. And maybe that seems like very short-sighted, considering that there's like, again, over 1,000 people. But I appreciate every person that watches these videos. I appreciate everyone that likes. I appreciate everyone that comments. But obviously, there are some people that I interact with day to day that made this content stuff way easier. Or like when I felt like quitting, they were there. And even if they didn't know that they helped assist me continuing making content, they pushed me forward no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just something as dumb as like, you know, making a snide joke in my comments that I would notice and I would tag them on Discord and be like, I seen that. Or something as like tagging me every day and letting them know their progress on something that they're doing. Or just, you know, asking me questions, you know, having a conversation with me. Or for example, like the other very high leaderboard players that we just genuinely talk about the game, which is what I originally made the channel for. I just wanted to talk to people that were, in quotation marks, really good at the game, or like had a very firm understanding of the game, because I don't think I'm the best player whatsoever. Actually, it's not even that I think. I'm not. I'm not the best player whatsoever. Not even close, you know, not top 5, not top 10. It's not in the discussion. Okay. But what I am is passionate. I like to learn. And it's not even just learning about the game. I like to learn in general. So when I'm talking to these other high leaderboard players, like, you know, Dio, Bar, Sunrad, Rizzler, the whole 9 yard, it's a good experience overall, you know? And on top of that, I used to have friends who played Phantom Parade, and a lot of them has fallen off, or some of them was like, oh, the game's turn-based, lame, never downloaded it. And it's like, I still play this game very often, and I don't want to talk in the Phantom Parade community Discord server, either of them. And it's no diss to anybody that runs the servers. It's just the fact that that community, again, it's huge. First and foremost, you know, you get stage, I get stage 5. I don't want to like deal with all these heads. And on top of that, I feel like I have more I don't know, like the conversations are more concentrated in my server, so I can have a more deep flowing conversation with other people in the confines of my server in comparison to me jumping into like the over 100,000 plus people in the original Phantom Parade server and like the over 10,000 people I think or something that's inside like the fan Discord server. It's too many people. I like to have my controlled group, you know, that I can speak to reliably, and a lot of them happen to be pretty good at the game, and some of them are new, and I like being able to share knowledge on the game with new players, and it's been fun. Not on some, you know, on some Gojo quote timing. If you know, you know, but it's been fun, right? It's been fun. It's just another thing that I haven't really spoke about, which is something that I made a joke about this in my Discord server, but I was actually being so serious when I said this. A lot of people ask, like, what are you going to do at 1K? And originally I was like, as soon as I hit 1K, I was going to delete the channel. Hands up in the air. That's what I was really going to do. Because, again, my initial goal was to prove to myself that I could do it. And at first, when I was making that goal, I wasn't sure if I really enjoyed making content or if I was doing it because, you know, lightning struck and I felt like I had to ride the lightning, you know? And I'm like, oh, wow, like maybe I'll just take this hit, ride it until it burns out. And then when I eventually hit 1K, I'll just leave like it never happened, right? But we're still here. I already hit 1K like last week. I don't even remember anymore, but I've hit 1K a little bit ago. And I'm still here, so that means something, right? In fact, I would say that despite some of the negativity, or despite some of my doubts, or despite the plateau, I still do kind of enjoy making content. I think I actually found something that I found fun to do, because originally it was just a goal, but now it's just kind of fun. Like I enjoy recording videos. I enjoy setting them up. I enjoy speaking to y'all about making content. I enjoy letting y'all know like what type of videos are going to come out. I enjoy doing things behind the scenes to make content better that y'all may not notice. I enjoy making little playlists for y'all. Even the music playlist, I enjoyed that because I'm like, oh yeah, let me put some people on some heat. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed a lot of that. But originally I was just going to quit. And then I was going to like go off and do something else. Because like I wasn't sure, you know, I wasn't 100% sure if this is what I wanted to do or if I wanted to have like this level of attention. And again, it may seem like, oh bro, it's only 1K. It's like an insignificant number. Okay. Hear me out. When you were in school, or if you are in school, like the average classroom, it'd be like what, man? Like 21 to 30 people? That's a lot of people in one room when you were a little kid. Now when I was growing as a quote unquote YouTuber, I kept imagining like every 100 subscribers, I'm like, that is another 100 people. And I can't imagine like fitting like 1,000 of y'all in the same space. It would be absurd for me. So again, you can be like the Debbie Downer and be like, you know, 1K ain't even that much in comparison to the YouTube giants, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot to me. It's a lot to, like, again, put into your imagination what 1,000 people in a single area would look like. It's a lot of people in my eyes. And it's a lot of people that I've had, you know, the pleasure of speaking to, the pleasure of interacting with, the pleasure of saying that I probably became friends with some of y'all to a certain extent, even if it's just about the game. Okay? I've had great pleasure doing all of that. The only displeasure I had is the hours of sleep that I've lost sometimes making videos. That is the only displeasure I had, but even then, I feel like it had a payoff for sure. I will say though, I feel like this is an important thing to probably mention for the channel, because since this is going to be a dry period for Phantom Parade for 2 weeks or so, I've had some people ask me in my server. I think it's only fair to address it in this video of all videos, and it's just, how do I say this? If Phantom Parade were to ever hit end of service, what would happen to this channel? Okay. Now, I'm going to be honest. There's two things that could potentially happen to this channel if Phantom Parade goes end of service. One, I quit, like, making content altogether. Or two, this channel will inevitably or at some point need a sub or backup game to make content on, but I won't spend on that game nearly as much as I do Phantom Parade. Which, if I were to make content on another game, I am not saying that that content from that game would override Phantom Parade whatsoever. In fact, if I were, I would probably just double upload. Like, I would make a Phantom Parade video, then make, like, insert other gacha game video on the same day. Like, I don't want this channel to fully pivot off of Phantom Parade, because this is my main gacha. I would say this is probably the only gacha I play on a daily basis. It's the only one. It's the only one that I really feel like spending money towards. It's the only one that I really, like, massively enjoy in terms of gameplay. And it's also the only gacha that I'm not behind on, because how do I say this? Like, there's a lot of gacha games out there that I have played or I have touched, and I'll just stop playing it for months. Now I feel like I'm lost. Like, I lost the plot completely. So, Phantom Parade's the only one I really have a lot of time spent into, and I still spend a lot of time in every day. In fact, as I'm recording this video, I was literally just farming the Kusakabe event. So I really do love this game. I am considering playing other games, but off camera. I have been considering the Kaiju 8 mobile game, shoutouts Sunrad. I've also been considering playing the Phantom X, but at the same time, that game unironically took up so much space on my phone. I'm pretty sure it took up more space on my phone than Dokkan. I'm like, we're just going to download it, like, on the PC or something, because that is a lot of space to be taken on my phone. Or, like, for example, if, like, other anime manga series, like, were to make new gachas I find interesting, for example, like Naruto, or let's say if either of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure games get a global port, I'll be interested in playing those. If Kagurabachi were to get a mobile game, I would be interested in that. If Gachi Akuta were to get a mobile game, I'd be interested in that. If Sakamoto Days were to get a new gacha game, I would be interested in that, because the current one that's out there, I'm not very interested in that gameplay whatsoever. But all of those series, since I read them, I don't want to get into a game or a series that I'm not 100% invested into. And a lot of those new gen shows are something I'm interested in. And also Yu Yu Hakusho, but I'm not playing Slugfest. I actually uninstalled it today. But yeah, those are a lot of series that I would be interested in. I mean, I said new gen, but obviously I mentioned Naruto, JoJo's, whatever. They're just considered a new gen manga. The ones that are most likely to get a new game: Gachi Akuta, Kagurabachi, Sakamoto Days. Those guys. Okay? Because I don't want to hop on a series that I don't really particularly care for and make content on a game, because I'd prefer to have knowledge on the series that I'm playing the game on. Like, I'm not going to make, like, a My Hero, gacha video when I don't care for My Hero. I'm not going to make one for Demon Slayer if I don't care for Demon Slayer. And, like, despite the fact that everybody loves Bleach Soul Resonance at the moment, I do love Bleach. Don't get it twisted. I love Bleach. I read, like, the entire manga in 3 days during lockdown back in the day. Okay? But Soul Resonance is, like, 3D action gameplay that sadly doesn't move me. If I wanted a 3D action game, I'm gonna boot up the PS5. I'm gonna boot up my Steam Deck. We're gonna play some Devil May Cry. Something like that. I prefer my gacha games to be turn-based. I'm a very traditional man on that point. So if you were wondering, like, gosh, what's going to happen to this channel? I don't know. I guess we'll just wait when that moment comes, when that day comes, But I don't like to focus on, like, the potential, like, end of service of Phantom Parade. I'm just here to enjoy the ride while we still have it. Even if it has, like, a lot of bumps in the road, I hope Phantom Parade goes on for a very, 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 very long time. Long enough to where we can look back a couple of years from now and be like, wow, I guess this was a pretty cool experience, right? But as it currently stands, Phantom Parade's in a pretty, how do I say this, interesting spot. But I feel like that's like pretty good portion of what I had to jibber jabber on about. A lot of bunch of speaking, a lot of talking. I do appreciate everybody that decides to like, they decide to comment, they decide to join the Discord, they decide to hang out. I appreciate all of it. Like, I really do. And I try to respond to as many comments as I can. I apologize if I don't respond to yours at like a decent time, or if I forget to respond to it. Outside of like making content, I'm still very busy. Like, making content takes up a large portion of my time, and you can imagine that real life obligations also take up an even more ginormous portion of my time. I would feel like another thing I would like to mention is that I have heard y'all's pleas for live streams. I have considered to a certain extent on streaming. I'm not sure when. Maybe I'll announce it on the community post. Maybe I'll announce it in my Discord because it'll be like a test stream. But maybe I'll stream every once in a while. Maybe I'll play like the other gacha games that I've been talking about. We can like the search for the sub gacha game. It'll be like an arc. It'll be like a side arc on the channel. Or we could just boot up Phantom Parade. We could sit here and we could talk about Phantom Parade. That's it. I'll sit here for like an hour, 2 hours. We could just yap about Phantom Parade. It's whatever, you know? I already do it in the Discord when I'm like typing text messages, which is very weird because I don't usually text, but I usually do like voice calls. But yeah, we could talk about that stuff there. And I feel like I hit like all of the main notes that I wanted to hit. I feel like this video was a lot harder to make in my head in comparison to the actuality of the difficulty of the video. But if you stood by long enough to listen to my entire Goo Goo Gaga baby ramble about hitting 1K, thank you. I hope you enjoyed your It's Go story yapping jaws session. There is like a very strong subsection of you that really enjoys having me talk in the background, and I'm cool with that. In fact, when I first started making the channel, I literally said to myself and my co-owner of the server, Phaeton, I'm like, hey, when I make these videos, how do I say this? I want it to seem like we're in a voice call together. I don't want you to think that like I'm talking to you. We are having a conversation together. Okay? We're having a conversation together. And I would also like to thank a fair bit of people. Once again, I would like to thank Master Mystery from the Discord server. I would like to thank Bar. I would like to thank Sunrad. I would like to thank Dio, Modus, Noop, Perfection. Co-owner of the server, Phaeton. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but Fragoso, Omega, or P-Mega, I'm not 100% sure how you would like that to be pronounced, my dear friend. I would also, I'm going through like a long list. I would say Snobbish Beast as well. Very active guy. Let's see. I would say Mirza. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I would also say X Ninja. We have only had some very brief interactions, but I would like to say thank you because you have been interacting with me pretty frequently. I hope your channel grows. And another important shout to the boy Charizard Barrage. He is probably the second YouTuber I interacted in the JJK space. Congratulations to 1K, brother. Here to further and beyond. But I'm not expecting everybody to watch this video, let alone get that far into it. But yeah, hopefully I hit a lot of notes. Hopefully I got enough people that I can remember off the top of my head. There's like a lot of y'all. And I also say Gray. I'm pretty sure it's Gray. Pretty sure. Yeah. But a lot of y'all. If I didn't mention you, my bad. There's over 100 people in the server. It's a lot of names, man. It's a lot of names. Just know I appreciate you. Dap me up in the comments. Dap me up in the Discord. Let's get out of here. It's been Jay, aka It's Ghost Story. Thank you for over 1,000 subscribers. Come on, say the outro with me. We're going to make it iconic at this point. And I will see you guys later.